Welcome to Israeli Frenemies right here on ILTV. We are broadcasting out of the beautiful Tel Aviv, city of Tel Aviv in Israel. And it's the only show that you'll find the right and left getting together to bash out the most heated subjects of the week. I have here Yariv Oppenheimer, who used to be the former head of Peace Now. Welcome. How are you doing this week?
Thank you, Ari. Thank you for having me. I'm fine. How are you?
Fantastic. We got a very heated show, so let's get right to the subjects at hand. This week, the United States of America has seen a scene that we haven't seen maybe in 75 years at least. In Charlottesville, Virginia, neo-Nazis, the KKK, and other very, very right-wing organizations were marching through the streets screaming everything from Jews will not replace us to slogans against black people. It was really a shocking thing for me to see, someone who grew up there. I think that we're going to be probably in agreement just in terms of what happened there with the call it the alt-right, if you want to call it. What's your take on this?
First of all, what was the shock? I think that the one thing is the demonstration, that you can see the things and you cannot really believe that this is the United States of America. But when you hear the American president condemning both sides and not talking very clearly against this right-wing extremist, I think this was the most problematic thing about this story.
Well,
what did you feel about it?
So
Because,
right.
I saw the Israeli right wing as well. They are not going out loud against it. They are keeping themselves very quiet. And I think it's a very bad thing for them to do.
So I'll tell you, the way I feel about this is the following. And I think that the left is doing a service to these horrific organizations, and I'll tell you why. Trump came out immediately and condemned it. And then afterwards, he specifically condemned the KKK and the neo-Nazis and everyone else. Netanyahu did so as well. The problem that I feel that why the left sometimes gives these groups power is because they exaggerate. In other words, the left-wing organization that went down to demonstrate against the Nazis, which were great, they actually, unfortunately, started the violence. Now, again, I'm not justifying the Nazis. 1 second. They should be arrested and thrown in jail for incitement. Don't think for a second. Don't think for a second that I'm defending these animals, these trash. I think that these people who are from the neo-Nazis and the KKK, they should apologize to the trees for stealing their oxygen. In other words, don't think for a second that I'm for them. But I think the problem is the left wing often encamps different ideologies into that. I'll give you an example. In Berkeley, the left wing, I call it the alt left wing. They were throwing Molotov cocktail bottles at people. They were burning down places. They were
I cannot take responsibility for everyone, but I can tell you from these pictures that the people that came to confront these right-wing demonstrations are heroes. These are the people that are ready, even maybe to risk their life in order to stop neo-Nazis in the street. But I will tell you something. It's deeper than that, because if you will exclude the anti-Semite aspects and you will look at the ideology of the right-wing, the extreme right-wing in America, you will see that this ideology believes that one people has more rights than the other.
No.
And there is similarity to the ideology of the right wing here that are saying that in the West Bank, Jews will have rights, Palestinians will have less rights. So you have things in common.
So this is exactly what we're talking about with left-wing exaggerations, which is actually causing this stuff. You are giving these organizations power. Because when you exaggerate like that with the most ridiculous, horrific statements against people who are not looking to kill anyone, not looking to build gas chambers, when you include Netanyahu in this and everyone else, it is ludicrous. It's like an idiotic statement.
The ideological,
you strengthen these right-wing people who are saying, look, the left is out of their minds. And in this case, excuse me, they are right. When you encompass Jews who are living in Judea and Samaria and you compare them to neo-Nazis marching in Virginia saying Jews will not replace us, that is an idiotic statement.
You know that there is embarrassment in the right wing. You cannot hide
I'm not embarrassed.
There is, because
I'm
eventually
very proud of being a Jew
Trump
in Israel.
in many ways embarrassed, because on the one hand he sees these people and he knows that they are talking on the...
Are you a socialist?
Yeah, I am.
Well, so is Hitler.
No.
So
Hitler was not a socialist. He was a fascist. He was a fascist. He was a fascist.
He was a national socialist.
He breathed air. I'm breathing air as well. So we are the same. We are both drinking water.
When you make idiotic comparisons,
this is very deep, because when you look deeper, and this is the reason why Trump said that he condemned violence in both sides, because eventually he protects the right of these people to demonstrate against taking off the statue and to say that this is not acceptable. He is not just condemning both sides. He's saying that they have the right to protest and to come forward with the neo-Nazis ideology.
In America,
and it's
in
not
America,
by
well,
accident,
here's the
you know,
problem.
there is a reason for that.
In America, you have the right to protest. Even if I don't agree with them, they have a right to protest. Do I believe that should be done here?
Even if you have a violent agenda?
No.
And
Again,
to be a neo-Nazi is a violent
I'm going to
agenda.
explain you again. Okay? Again, like I said, these people are garbage. In terms of the right to protest in America, fortunately or unfortunately, that is a right. Okay? They're allowed to scream whatever they want unless they're calling for violence. Okay? Which, again, I'm not defending them. They're garbage. That being said, I'm going to go back to what I said before. Your total lack of connection to reality, your total exaggerations of connecting.
I'm looking
right
at the
to right.
ideology.
Again,
I'm taking
but
very
again-
seriously
but again,
ideological
I understand. So
standing.
I told you, if you take the ideology seriously, Hitler was a national socialist.
In the
Well, there you
right,
go.
I'm listening to the people in the right wing in America, and they are saying that we think that we should bring back slavery and we should be over the.
Do the right wing in Israel believe that?
No, but the right wing in Israel are
Yes.
saying that we have more rights than our neighbors, the Palestinians.
Historically.
Of
What I'm
course,
saying,
you see,
hold
no,
on, hold on,
historically,
hold on,
they're
hold on.
current situation.
Hold on,
So
you're
just
right,
let me
you're
finish.
right, you're right.
Just let me
Okay,
finish.
finish
The right wing in Israel are saying we are ready to give up some of the democratic aspects in order to continue to control the West
No,
Bank
that's
and
not
the
what they said.
Palestinians.
No, that's
This
not-
is the
that's called fake
solution.
news.
And
That's
this
called
is
fake news.
no, but this is the solution. You are not
No.
ready to give them
So
equal
don't tell me
rights.
we'll
And
talk
this
about
is
the solution.
similar. This is similar to the agenda saying that the black people in America
course.
should have some rights, but
this
not
is-
full rights,
Right.
because the white people
So
has
this is-
the
so this is
control
again-
over them.
So this is again the exaggeration of the left. What the right wing believes that we're very proud to be Jews back in the land of Israel. Your organization, for example, is built on violence. Kick the Jews out.
No, we
and
are
one
not
second.
supporting violence.
You
We
actually support the people. In other words, the radical Muslims who actually talk about genocide against the Jews.
No, never,
Those are the
never.
people.
We never
Where
support
do you
that.
who do you want to give Judea and Samaria to? Who do you
I'm
wanna-
not giving anything.
And
I'm not giving
who do
anything.
you want to make a deal with?
I'm not
Who do
Santa
you want to make a
Claus.
deal with?
When you ask Israelis what their political opinion, immediately they will give you an answer about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, because this is the most burning issue, and I think it's with us from day one and maybe for the future ahead. And what is your stand about that? What do you think should be the solution to this Israeli-Palestinian conflict?
Okay, so like I've said many times, especially on the show, before we discuss the solution, we have to define the problem. Now, I know that I've met you several times, and I've heard you speak. In your opinion, the problem is land, and the problem is occupation, what you call. In my opinion, it has nothing to do with that. And the historical proof shows that your opinion is just not accurate. In other words, in 1929, before there was a state, they were murdering Jews. In 1066 in Morocco, they were murdering Jews. Again, afterwards, between 1940 and 1967, when the Arabs had control over all of Judea and Samaria, Jerusalem, the Golan Heights, and the Gaza Strip, the PLO was born to destroy Israel.
But let me correct you. I don't think it's about land and not about religious. I think it's about rights. And today, what people would like to have is full right. And the Palestinians are
So
saying...
why in 1929 did they murder the Jews?
I don't know, because many reasons. Because then they maybe thought they can kick us out of here.
And why
But
1948?
today they understand they cannot.
Why 1947? Why
Because they
1948?
thought they can kick us
And
out.
1956?
And today they think they not. Why Egypt made peace with Israel?
Because they lost the war.
Yeah, because they understood...
Because they got destroyed.
Yeah, it's true. They understood that we are a fact and they will not be able to kick us out. And now we have to think about rights. And it's our decision. We need to create a vision for the Israeli people, for the Zionist movement. And the vision should include Jewish and democratic state. And you cannot have a real democratic and Jewish state when you don't have a clear Jewish majority and when people have no rights. And if you want to have the West Bank for Israel and Gaza Strip, you need to give the
Samaria, but go ahead.
whatever you
No, 'cause
can.
our
Judea,
enemies-
Samaria.
our
I'm
enemies-
going with you.
No, but
you
you have
know.
to- one second,
But
one second.
eventually, you need to make the decision what will be the status and what will be the rights of the Palestinians
Yeah, I
living
agree.
there. Are you ready to give them Israeli ID? I don't want to give them Israeli ID. I don't
Are you
want
a
to
racist?
control their
Are
life.
you a racist?
No, I'm a Zionist, and
You're
I
a Zionist,
I
okay.
would like to have a
So
state
you're for Jews
that
going
has
Har
a
HaBayit,
Jewish
right?
majority.
You're for Jews going on the Temple Mount, right?
This is another question.
Are you or are
For
you
now,
not?
no, but
Oh,
maybe,
so you're sounding like a
maybe
really
in
big
the
Zionist.
future, yes. you
Okay,
know.
let's go back to Judea and Samaria. If it's about rights, can you explain to me, please, between 1940 and 1967, when they had full control over the areas, why were they talking about annihilating Jews?
Because then it was before Israel was controlling
So they had rights.
No, but I'm not looking at that because we can look
You
at
don't
the
want to look at the
history.
past.
No, I want to look at the present and the future.
Okay, but
things are changing all the time, also within inside Israel, and many things are changing. I'm saying also in the Palestinian side. Today, the Palestinian people are saying either give us Israeli ID or either
that's
give
not
us
what they're saying.
our state.
Who's saying that?
The PLO. This is
Absolutely
the
not.
official
The PLO,
position of the
excuse me,
PLO.
the head of the PLO, the head of the PA, Abbas, Abu
Yeah.
Mazen, said he doesn't want Jewish filthy feet dirtying up the Temple Mount.
This is the
He
issue
never
about
said-
Temple Mount.
He never,
But he
one
always
second.
say,
He
I
said
recognize the right of Israel to
one
exist
second.
on the borders
He said,
of
the man on the
67.
screen right here
Yeah.
said, no Jew will be able to live in Palestine. He never said we want rights.
Palestine,
In fact,
yeah, of course.
He never said he
our
wants
own rights, our own
he
state.
He never spoke about rights. In fact, when Ehud Barak, the left-wing leader, offered 95%,
When
Arafat
was
said
it?
no.
When was it?
Yeah. When did Ehud
When-
Barak?
almost 20 years ago.
Oh, so that's also different.
Yeah,
So-
of course.
So you're not looking at
No,
reality.
I'm looking about the
You're not
vision.
looking at reality.
Before I'm getting into Abbas, I'm looking about the Israeli interest. And the Israeli interest is to have a Jewish democratic state.
No, the Israeli
Even if the
interest is not to get
Palestinian will
killed.
not like it, this is my
So-
interest. But when I listen to Abbas, he's saying very clearly from day one that he is accepting the right of Israel to exist in the borders of
Abbas said
1967.
he
He's
refuses-
saying it all the time. Israel and Palestine, two
Again,
states.
this is a problem with not accepting reality. Abbas said he will never recognize a Jewish state called
Jewish
Israel.
state. He's not
So
saying, no, he's saying I
Yariv,
recognize
he's
the
not
right of
accepting
Israel to
your
exist.
existence.
He's saying I'm not going to say what Israel should
No,
be like.
really?
Whether it should
That's
be
what he
Jewish
said?
or not Jewish. Of course.
He said that
out loud.
Hold on. Does he accept the Jewish state of Israel?
He accepts
Yes
the
or no?
state of Israel.
Does he accept-
I don't need him to accept the
Oh, you
Jewish
don't?
state of Israel.
So he's
I
not-
need him to accept the state of
Oh, so
Israel.
he's not
I'm the one to make the
Unbelievable.
decision. We are the
I
one to
understand.
make
So
the
he doesn't
decision
accept your
what
existence.
kind of a state
I
Israel will
understand.
be.
So he doesn't accept your existence as a Jewish state.
No,
You're okay with
existence he is accepting.
A Jewish state.
He's not getting into
Does he-
this
does he-
issue. Yeah.
that. Very simple question. Does he accept the existence of a Jewish state called Israel? Yes or no?
Is he accepting the existence of Israel?
I
But
didn't
I'm
ask
saying-
that.
No, but this is
Answer
the
the
answer.
question.
This is the
Does
answer.
Abu Mazen, your peace partner?
I will answer. If Israel will declare that Israel is a Jewish state,
did
he will.
declare.
So he accepts it.
The
of
UN
course.
also declares
Of
it.
course, he accepts it
Abu
because
Mazen-
he's saying
One second.
two states. Yeah.
Again, let's try this again because you're not answering my question.
problem.
According to the Declaration of Independence, according to the UN, Israel, according to even the partition plan, Israel is a Jewish state. Abu Mazen said he will never recognize the Jewish state of
He's saying
Israel.
that he's recognized the state of Israel, and Israel has the right to make the decision what kind of a state it is. But I'm telling you something about the Palestinians.
You're not answering my question.
I
Well, go on,
answer.
fine.
You don't like the answer.
No, you didn't-
But I will
Go
tell you
ahead.
something
Go ahead.
else.
Go ahead.
Even if Abbas tomorrow morning will say that he is ready to be a citizen in the state of Israel, and the demand of the Palestinian is not a Palestinian state anymore, but to be part of Israel, I'm not accepting it. I'm not giving Abbas the ability to veto my future. And my future, it's an Israeli interest to have a Jewish and democratic state. You cannot have it with the West Bank and
So can I ask
Gaza.
you a question? You visited the villages in the West Bank, right? Do they have maps of Israel on their textbooks?
Exactly the same maps
Yes
like we have
or
in
no?
do we have Palestinian towns in the
Again,
Israeli textbooks?
And I'll answer your
Do
question.
we have
Number
Israel,
one, yes.
Palestinian? No, we
Number
don't.
one, yes.
You will hardly
Number
see
two,
not
you're deflecting
Nablus.
my question.
Yeah, no.
They don't.
Because
So they
in
don't-
both.
so
no,
again,
I'm not. Because in
do
both
they?
sides. Because
don't.
in both sides
Yeah.
there is a process of
But there's no
recognition.
state of Palestine yet.
But the head of the Palestinian Authority
Right.
is saying two states, and the head of the Israeli government is
But
not
there's
saying
no
two
state
states.
of Palestine yet. Again, you're deflecting reality.
But
there is
hopefully
in Israel.
in the future there will be.
Why does your peace partner not have maps with Israel on it?
Because there is a dispute about the land, you know.
All of the land?
But
Tel Aviv?
as long as you are not
Haifa?
making the decision, yes, they will tell you
So-
we are not ready to give up Tel Aviv and Haifa.
Why-
If
why
you
do
will
they
not
have to give
say
it up?
out loud
Why
that
do
you
they
are
have-
not giving up Hebron and Nablus.
1 second. You said giving up. When was it ever theirs?
Before Jewish people were here, they felt that this was their
I don't care
land.
what they felt.
But you know, it's not.
Was it theirs?
It's not relevant.
Of course it's-
no, because
facts
you
are relevant.
This is the best way not to confront reality, and to confront reality is to
Deny
give
history in order
to
to
give
confront
an
reality.
answer to the question.
Right.
How you can have a Jewish and a democratic
So I'll explain to
state
you. Right.
with the Palestinian living in West Bank and Gaza. Give
So
me
the
an
a- the
explanation.
answer's-
I will support
The
you.
answer is the following right now. The Arabs in the West Bank received citizenship from Jordan in 1948, and then were stripped of that citizenship. They should remain residents of Israel.
But you will control the.
Let
Yeah.
me
Okay.
answer.
Yes.
Right. Israel this week has decided, finally, in my opinion, to knock out Al Jazeera from Israel on their completely subjective and biased reporting about what's going on in the area. Just to tell our viewers, Al Jazeera is a Qatar channel. Qatar is the #1 funder today of radical Islamic terrorism. And the problem is not that they're only being funded by that same country. The people on Al Jazeera have actually advocated for the murder of Jews. I'll just read Sheikh Yosef Al-Qadari, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, on Al Jazeera, stated the following: he has a weekly show. Allah imposed Hitler upon the Jews to punish them. Allah willing, the next time will be at the hand of the believers, i.e. the Muslims. So I'm very happy this is happening. It's about time. I don't think we should have waited so long. I think, by the way, the same way that the neo-Nazis and the KK should be ousted from America, this kind of rhetoric should be ousted from Israel.
You know, Al Jazeera is international channel. Has reporters all around the globe, including some West countries, America, Europe. Every democratic state can handle reporters that don't think the same like the government or like you.
Not true. They were kicked out of 3 different countries.
And as long as the statements that are being said are not against the Israeli law, like incitement, and what you said, I don't know where it was broadcasted, maybe it was not broadcast from Israel, but once you are broadcasting from Israel things that are calling for violence, a specific calling for act of violence, then you have the criminal law. I don't like a state that decide to shut down journalists, not from the right wing, not from the left wing, not Arab, not Israelis. Allow them to speak out as long as they are following the Israeli law. If you have a criminal allegation, go to the police. Don't don't take off the channel out of the air.
Well, this is my problem, and I've said this before. I said left wing. I define them as somebody who defends the rights of everyone except for those who are being murdered and are being attacked by those who are defending the rights through. The UAE, the United Arab Emirates, closed down Al Jazeera.
This is your example for democratic
not only them,
state.
Not only,
you know, maybe Syria as well.
Let me finish. The guy here who's in charge of the Israeli channel said he's using Al Jazeera to fight Israel.
No, he said that he's using Al Jazeera to fight the occupation. And
yeah,
but you know that there are many Israeli journalists, right-wing, that are saying we are using the media in order to fight the peace camp agenda and to support the settlements. Every journalist, many journalists in the Israeli, I don't want to speak out the name, no, but you know, maybe journalists that are saying we support the right wing, and this is the reason why we are broadcasting.
So again, I gave you one person, the head of the Al Jazeera here in Israel, who says he's using his voice and his pen. Hold it, no, not agenda. He's using
this is an agenda.
He said he's using his voice and his pen in order to fight. He didn't mention occupation, by the way. He meant his nation. Meaning the Palestinians.
To fight for the but this is you know we both of us now are fighting for our goal, for our ideology. We're not fighting physically, but we are advocating for that. So he's saying that he's doing the same with Al Jazeera.
You're okay.
You know, when I'm open Israeli Makor Rishon newspaper, this is a journalist. This is a newspaper that support the right-wing agenda. So they are fighting to support the settlements and to act against me. It's fine. It's legitimate.
There's a difference of opinion, which is fine. And then there's a newspaper that's funded by the head funder of Islamic terrorists who actually fund people to advocate the murder of Jews.
Let's assume that Al Jazeera is getting money for the Jewish agency.
Are you okay with the neo-Nazis having their own newspaper?
I think that the funding is not so important. What is important is what's going on the air. And if Al Jazeera will get all the money from the Jewish agency but will still continue to broadcast the same things, you should have the same opinion. So put aside the funding issue and let's talk about the issue itself. What Al Jazeera people are saying. They are against the occupation. We know it. There are Israeli journalists that are against the occupation.
Just so you understand, I'll give you... So Raed Saleh, the Sheikh, as they call him, I call him a terrorist, was arrested again for the second time for incitement for murder of Jews. He is one of the guys on the Temple Mount there. He's head of the Islamic North Islamic terrorist organization here in Israel.
You can call them terrorists. No one else is calling them terrorists. Well, the reason I'm calling it Islamic
terrorist organization because he's constantly advocating for the murder of Jews in Israel, of course. And this is not just him. on the Temple Mount. We see this constantly of sermons going on about the annihilation of Jews, and not about Zionism, by the way, not about the occupation either. He doesn't talk even about the Zionists, he talks about Jews, and he backs up his sermons with religious sources from Islam, which I believe, by the way, is hurting the moderate Muslims, but I'm sure you'll disagree with it.
You know that I'm not a big fan of Raed Salah. I don't think that he's a man of peace.
Do you think he's better off than the KKK?
I'm not getting into this comparison.
I would like to know.
But I don't know. But
why? Because he's against Jews?
I'm not so enthusiastic about. No, because he's not in favor of slavery, and he's not in favor.
That's it?
And he's not.
But if he's okay with murdering Jews,
I
it's
think
okay?
that he's a very Muslim, and he's not a peaceman.
He's not in favor of slavery?
He's not in favor of slavery.
Are you kidding? Have you read Sharia law?
But let me tell you what I think we should do with that. I think that you are not a naive person, and you know that even if we will put Raed Salah for life in jail, this will not make the Palestinian feel happy about the Israeli occupation. This will not make the Palestinian feel happy to be controlled by you. So if you think that he's the one to blame for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, you are maybe even a bit, naive.
Did I hurt their feelings?
No,
Did I hurt
not my feelings.
Did I hurt their feelings?
Let's look at reality.
Did I hurt their feelings?
And I can give you some names of Israeli rabbis that spoke about blowing up Temple Mount and to create and blowing up the mess.
Okay.
So if you want to put him in jail, put them in jail as well.
Great. Let's make differentiation right now. I love when you do. You deflect the Jews all the time, but it's okay. We'll get there in 1 second. I'm sorry that their feelings come before our safety. I'm sorry you feel that way.
It's not about feelings. It's about reality. If you think that this will help you to stop the conflict, you are making a mistake.
You think that they're going to be happy with our decision? I don't care. He's advocating for the murder of Jews. I don't care. They feel number one.
Proof, by the way, for that.
Number two, in terms of rabbis, you want to talk about the mosque? We'll talk about the mosque, okay? The mosque is built on a Jewish Temple Mount. Why do you ask?
We should blow it up?
Well, I don't know. You think Jews should be kicked out of their homes?
I think that the Israeli government... I will answer you. I think that the Israeli government can make this decision.
Hold on. Let me ask the question. You believe morally Jews can be kicked out of their homes because you claim occupation, but a mosque that's built on the Jewish Temple Mount, which is clear historic occupation, there do you advocate kicking them out?
I don't think that we can kick them out.
But you can kick Jews out.
I don't think we should kick the Palestinians
out. Jews out.
But no matter what, we should
they're not Palestinians.
Just a second. We should not blow up the mosque.
That's not what I asked
and
you.
I'm not saying that we should blow up the settlements.
That's not what I asked
I think that the Israeli government has the right to make decision where is the border. And once you make the borders, you can bring back the Israelis living outside of the border.
You're deflecting. I didn't ask you that. I asked you another question.
Sorry that I'm answering the reality.
No, I'll ask the question again. Maybe the viewers also didn't hear. You believe in kicking Jews out as a solution to occupation in Judea and Samaria?
No, because
1 second.
I will
Let me finish my sentence. Kicking them out or giving it over, whatever you want to call it, but the same solution on the Temple Mount where you know historically they're really occupying the Jewish Temple Mount, there you're not okay with kicking them out because it's a different religion?
Yeah, of course. I think, first of all, religious places has different solutions than settlements and habitats of Israelis.
So they're allowed to occupy Judaism?
No, but I think that we should find a solution to the Temple Mount, and this solution will be found only after we will solve the political conflict.
So they should be okay with staying
there. It will be easier to solve also the religious conflict.
I understand. So they should be okay with keeping their mosque on a place that they built on my Temple Mount.
Of course. This is, by the way, the Netanyahu policy as well.
I'm asking you. So Jews should be able to stay in Judea and Samaria?
No, because this is sovereignty. And this is about what you are going to do with this land.
They build a mosque.
What is the connection? I would like to share a good word with the Israeli government. I will surprise you. And we are in the summertime and many Israelis are flying out to a vacation. And one of the reasons for this amount of people living is because we got a reform of open skies and the prices are cheaper. And this is something good that the Israeli government did.
So I'm going to surprise you. In fact, in 2000, we were looking to buy a house somewhere. And I ended up at some kind of demonstration, which was a Peace Now demonstration, and actually looked into it, and it was actually not really any Arabs there. We bought on that spot, so I have to thank you for my house, actually. I know you don't like to hear that.
Maybe it's temporarily.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to ILTV, to hear on Israeli Frenemies. We will be back next week. Don't forget to share us on all the social media networks. God bless you from the beautiful state of Israel. Have an awesome weekend, everyone.
Bye-bye.